Welcome to The Right Question. I'm Daphne Gray Grant. Today we're talking about editing email. I'm answering a question from Emily Agnew from Rochester, New York. Here's what she asked.
Hi, Daphne. This is Emily with a question for you. I can't believe this, but I noticed I even edit my emails while I'm writing them. And I wondered if you have any suggestions about that. I want to be very responsive to clients, current ones and prospective ones, but it just feels like open season. And even though some of the emails are deserving of my attention, they're sensitive and they're important, it still feels like I'm spending way too long on them. Do you have any suggestions for me?
Thanks for the question, Emily. But oh my goodness, judging by the email I receive, and to be honest, the email I sometimes send, more people need to edit their email. Email is often filled with typos, grammatical errors, factual mistakes, and all-around sloppy writing. I don't think there's anything wrong with editing email, particularly if it's as important and sensitive as you describe. I wonder if the problem is that you're treating all email in a similar fashion. By that I mean, are you spending exactly the same amount of time on your garden variety emails as you are on your sensitive and important ones? Here are some tips on how to better handle your email. Don't let your email stream in all day. The ding you might hear when an email arrives can be intensely distracting. And even if you have the sound turned off, the little red number at the bottom of the screen showing how many unread emails you have is also a problem. Instead, collect your email only when it's convenient for you and only when you have the time to respond. Have one place to process your email and do it in the order in which it arrives. Don't cherry pick only the most interesting ones and leave the others in your inbox to collect dust. I always try to keep my inbox mostly empty. Several times a day I answer as many emails as possible right away. Then I file them. If it's going to take me more than a couple of minutes to write an answer, and I don't have the time right then I put a note on my daily to-do list so I don't forget about the email. I like to deal with emails when I have a clock ticking. This is part of the Pomodoro method. I've included a link below. The sound of a ticking clock is a reminder to me that my time is limited. I find it keeps me moving quickly. But let's return to your question about sensitive and important emails. I really support your desire to treat them carefully. Here's the main thing to remember. The secret to good writing is good editing. And the secret to good editing is distance. Instead of spending more time writing those emails or even more time editing them, I suggest instead you spend some more time away from them before you send them. Do some other work for several hours and then you'll be able to return to those important and sensitive emails with fresh eyes. When you do that, you'll likely notice all sorts of ways in which you can make them better. I call this time away from our writing the incubation period. I've talked about this before, and you can see a link in the description below. The main thing is not to lose track of those emails, and that's why that note on your to-do list becomes so important. It allows you to keep track of what you need to do. The important thing about dealing with email is to not let it control you. Answer it when you have the time and don't let it take over your life. For even more terrific ideas on how to handle your email, I suggest you get yourself a copy of the book, The Email Warrior. Details in the description below. Finally, let me wrap up with a quote from the author of that book, Anne Gomez. If we allow ourselves to work from a random assortment of messages in our inbox, we will always be scrambling according to others' priorities and timelines. Thanks for your question, Emily. I hope this video helps you develop a new relationship with your email.